Hello, and thank you for joining me for this third day of our Holy Week reflections, where I'll be reading parts of the biblical narrative, the Passion story, and alongside that, reading character narratives from this book by Rachel Mann called The Risen Dust. And our Bible reading for today comes from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 14, verses 10 to 11. Then Judas Iscariot, who was one of the 12, went to the chief priests in order to betray him to them. When they heard it, they were greatly pleased and promised to give him money. So he began to look for an opportunity to betray Jesus. And our character narrative today is from the perspective of Judas. All I ever wanted was to be a good man, to serve God, to help other people. And he gave me my chance. All my life I've had to put up with people teasing me or pushing me around just because I was smaller than the other boys, just because I wasn't always as sharp or as popular as them. Not everyone can be cool, can they? And sometimes I guess I got into trouble just because I was trying to impress other people. I'd steal things or wind up the Romans a little bit just to get their attention. But Jesus saw me differently. That first time we met, he just came up to me and smiled and said, "Follow me." And I smiled back, and I think I even laughed. And mad as it sounds, that's what I did. I followed him. For the first time in my life, I've had the confidence to be myself. That's what he does for you, Jesus. He helps you to be yourself. And yeah, I know I've been following him around for 3 years, but I'm no longer just a member of the crowd. Sometimes in order to be yourself, you have to become a disciple, and he set me free. All I ever wanted was to be a good man, to serve God and to help other people. And through him, that's what has happened. I've done more good in the past 3 years than I ever imagined. We all have. He's helped us become good men and women. And you know the greatest thing? He's given us hope. When you have nothing and other people look down on you, and you spend your whole time being ripped off by those who are more powerful and wealthier than you, you don't know how incredible that feels. But now it's so messed up. It's all got out of hand. Even Jesus is worried. I've seen him at night brooding and praying. He hasn't slept properly for weeks. I've been his greatest supporter, but things are just getting weird. There are people, even some who've been with us from the start, who want to proclaim him king. You should have seen them when we came into town, the way they were waving the palm branches, shouting, "Hosanna to the king." People are treating him like a god. People are talking of revolution and of overthrowing the authorities, and that's got to be wrong. Surely he's just a man and not a king, and most definitely not God. That's blasphemy. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe he is a king. If enough people believe it, you can be anything, right? All I know is I'm scared. I've heard them, you see. The leaders of the temple and the Romans too. I've been listening out. They're not going to let this get out of hand. The vultures and the wolves are circling, and Jesus is their chosen lamb. Maybe you're the kind of person who's happy rushing into a fight. Maybe you're the kind of person who'll throw away their life for a cause, but what if that cause has got out of hand? You know what I think? We should have stayed away from Jerusalem this year. I think Jesus is losing the plot. I think he's starting to believe what they're saying of him. I've seen it in his eyes. There's no way we're going to get away with this. Someone's got to make it stop. Don't judge me for what I have to do. All I've ever wanted was to be a good man, and what I'm going to do is for his sake, and my sake, and for the sake of everyone.